And I say that because I find myself coaching. I say something to a kid.
Can you handle it?
He do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Females do that.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're opposite all women.
You got kids going, like, dude, for real? Really?
Right.
Look, I said this 25 years ago or something like that. I told my wife, I said, look, watch where we going as a community. I said, the boys are becoming more feminine.
Yeah.
The girls are becoming more masculine.
And
And
that's
all
not
you see
decided.
now,
That's not decided.
girls walking around, they sagging, got baggy pants on. Guys walking around painting they got fingernails.
Hey, they nails, right?
Yeah, they got the
You know,
things. Yeah, you're right.
I'm like,
You're right.
But
what guy would paint his fingernails?
It is.
I mean, if you got daughters, so you might do a play date,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
take it off
They-
before
they-
you leave
they-
the house.
They got different designs on their nails, right? Yeah.
And this is at least for me. Like I said, it's like I don't take it to the church a little bit. I don't vibe with a lot of churches because some of the stuff I say, right?
Yeah.
And I say it because it don't. I mean, it's, you know, like well now in the church, it's like we gotta embrace all this stuff, or we gotta no,
You don't have to.
no, you can't, right? Ain't no way we gonna be able to establish in the beginning even before y'all got here, man. Even talking about community, right? And we talking about community,
Yeah.
what the way the community used to be, right? And people are like, oh, that's old, that's the way it used to do, right? But it was successful, right?
Exactly.
It was working, right? And so we can't go away from what's working. And so we gotta go back to what was working, back to the family, back to manhood, back to
No, back to what he was like when you done out, all y'all left. Y'all went to college.
Yeah.
Everything started. All y'all left, man, because of simple fact. We was looking up to y'all.
Uh-huh.
Y'all like artists. We had the little leagues. We had, y'all taught us how to hit the ball,
Yeah.
how to stand up, swing it. I remember all that, man. You never forget stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So what left the community was like the men's stuff. That's it. We don't have that.
But here's the problem, and I talked to my wife about this too. Yeah, we go off, we graduate high school, get our scholarships, we go off to school. Why we don't come back? Because you gotta look at what's going on. East Chicago is a wonderful, I love East Chicago.
Oh, yes.
we don't got the infrastructure.
You gotta give them something to come back
We don't
to.
got the infrastructure.
If you wanna build a new house here, but you got 2 abandoned houses here, that's not beautiful. But you can go to Portage build a new house, they give you grocery stores, they give you apartments, they give you something to go out to. East Chicago can't even get another grocery store on the other side of town.
We the ones spend all the money.
Exactly.
We the ones spend all the money.
That's a fact. Yeah.
And every other nationality can come into our community and take money out of our community.
That's
right?
right.
And so the realization, we ain't got a gas station, we ain't got a grocery store, we don't got no type of educational. We ain't got a hospital. We can't do nothing. That's why I get upset at black people. That's like, we won't revolt. You don't got nothing to revolt with.
And you know what I tell
You don't own nothing. You gotta build something to be able to break away from the system. You gotta build it yourself.
I tell people, I say, listen, if you want to know why East Chicago is not progressing, I say, come to Chicago about 4:30, 5 o'clock. Watch all these tail lights heading out of the city. All the head of the departments and stuff like that, they don't live in East Chicago. They don't even stop at McDonald's, if you would call that shopping,
Right,
to spend that money. They run right back across the state to the other city, talk about us like a dog,
Right.
and then come right back the next day and get that check.
And he can't get a piece of property to build something that's gonna bring money. That's crazy.
You look at Gary. Gary used to be based in Chicago when the steel mill was running.
Yeah.
But then all the white folks they ran to Maryland.
Yeah.
Gary used to buy the houses.
The
in Carolina.
mall, it wasn't Gary.
Yeah.
Fifth Avenue and Broadway.
Right.
Oh,
No,
All that money.
you would think,
But what about the visitors?
Yeah.
They got, they still got one
One
store.
thing they got is that little laundry. and
They got one
they
store.
We understand.
That hot dog still?
You understand?
You might make me go give me a hot dog.
If you understand,
Still running.
The infrastructure left. You go out and get a degree, like you just said, you ain't got nothing to come back to. Ain't no job that's gonna hire you, right? And so some of the stuff is the people that do leave, right? They gotta make some sacrifices. They may not have the life that they think they they went to school to have, so that they can build something, so you can start to have. So when my grandkids come to school, right, they can come back and work at something that I had to establish or I had to make, so that we can build a community and a sustainable. The place I work for is a small little family-owned company. It ain't just us. We a Polish dude, right? The company is 55 years old. His son, the vice president, he in his 50s, right? They just took in some investors from someplace else, and because he's like, I can't get my grandkids to come. I got a whole company, right? I've been running for 50 years. I'm getting ready to die. I can't pay my grandkids to come in and run this, right? And so it ain't just something that just black people deal with, right? But that's what you put into your kids. When you see foreigners come over here, they know what they come over here to do, right? They get sent over here and say, you're gonna go be an engineer, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna go be a doctor, right? They don't,
And they start teaching them early.
yeah, they tell their kids, this is what you're gonna go do, right? And we say, oh man, this is what you do whatever. No. Because they building a structure. Yeah. We need doctors, we need builders, we need what? And I don't agree with everything Umar Johnson said, but Dr. Umar said, but he ain't lying.
Yeah.
The reality is they come here on a mission. They know exactly what they're gonna do. So we
You
need to
gotta
find
realize,
out.
man, they got all types of capitalism.
Now look, and so we have to start
You think
something.
they around got the gas station, man?
All of them.
All of them. You think they can't? They got
They close to the brothers and
They got tax.
this is how they build their wealth.
But they got a pipeline.
Hey, this is how they do.
Come on.
My Arab friends, tell me guts.
You got it right
It started on Paris.
I'm just.
The corner store. Now, the corner store was always named Sam. But nobody name was Sam either. But Gus had the shop. That was the dad. Gus had the shop for 7 years. When it was time for Gus to pay taxes,
Gave it to us.
Gus turned it over to his son Al.
Because of what?
Taxes.
So Al finna have it.
7 more years.
Al
How
finna
long?
7 more years.
Al had it for 7
So
years.
what is that called, man?
Now, when it came time for Al to pay
Come on,
taxes,
man, it's called capitalism.
Al put the store in his brother Tim's name.
Okay, and it goes down.
I remember the dad.
So this is father and 2 sons.
So how we gonna beat
For
that?
21 years, they didn't pay no taxes.
Come on, man.
Then
For
it
21
gets
years,
on
they
to
didn't pay no taxes. Now, the uncle comes in.
For real.
This is how it works.
I know the game.
He starts running the store.
I know how
But
to make it.
he decides, I don't want to split with Gus, because Gus is still Gus' store. It's just in your name. So what he does, he goes open up his own store on Main Street.
Exactly.
So now you got one on Paris, you got one on Main Street.
That's how they operate, man.
And they selling all the same thing.
But you know the crazy thing, it goes back to what you were talking about earlier, the division. My thing is, I say, black folks now, we all got a case of ADHD. I don't care what these young kids growing up now. Because if you look at a couple years ago with president election, I think it was Biden or somebody that was in there. When they was selling, the Middle East and Egypt started to sell the oil. But there was an issue going on with Kanye West and the president and all that stuff. So they put the smoke screen up and we looked over there. Now, if we would have been focusing on the buyout with the oil, what was going on, we could have jumped about any on it. So the thing is, it's a lot of us, but we gotta focus.
Well, we too emotional, man. They can move us like this, right?
Yeah.
They can move us like this. Guess what? At the end of the day, this is me. But I don't care what none of them people do, right? Because our fight is a grassroots fight that we need to be focusing down here, right? And so if they can get you riled up, oh man, this guy did this or this guy did this, and you just like this, they know they can control you. As soon as the election cycle come up, guess what? Guess what's gonna happen? Next election cycle, some white police officer gonna beat up some black guy, and y'all gonna be tearing up some stuff instead of getting off of the mission, what we supposed to be doing, right? And they know that they can just move us, cause we so sensitive about it. I don't care about somebody being racist, people go ahead. Somebody being racist don't impact what I need to be doing right here.
Right.
Guess what? Because what they did back in the day, they built their strong communities. Guess what? They built them up. Hey, okay, they got some power. They come tear it down. Guess what? All right, let's get back. And if that's gonna be our lot, then that's fine.
And you know what? I agree with you on that Black Lives Matter.
Everything, we wasn't.
It became an
worried about
issue
all.
when the white police do something to us.
Right.
Yeah,
But like you say, we got blacks killing blacks every night in Chicago, every night in Philadelphia, every night in LA, every night in here. But Black Lives Matter ain't marching for that.
Yeah. But you know, it's the, it's like with everything, the white folks backing it. It's always, it's a.
But what they do? All they did was cycle money out. Who made the show? What was Black Lives Matter? Who made it? Well, no black people made the money, and then the ladies that was in charge of it, what we found out they was doing? Taking the money and doing X, Y, and Z with it, right? And so they get us all emotional riled up, they get us behind stuff that really doesn't matter, right? The stuff that really matters, you gonna be able to know, because that's what they gonna demonize. If everybody like, oh yeah, do this, I look the other way, because I already know that's a smoke. That's some fake stuff. That's some fake stuff.
That's why the president of yours, man. Now, the main news was like, the head of secretary just texting everybody what was going on in Iraq.
Yeah.
Okay, what'd he say? Trump gets on and says, he does something, you ain't heard nothing else about it. They want you to forget about the important, like you said, forget about the important things, then we're gonna drown you with some mediocre stuff like Trump didn't tie his shoes today.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it's just like,
you went to McDonald's,
that's it.
You know who I really focus on though? Is Jewish people.
probably the money.
I got a Jewish friend, right?
You got a Jewish friend?
Jewish people, one thing they love black people, I'll tell you why. My Jewish friend, his name is Mo. They have plenty nursing homes around Indiana.
Yeah.
Right? Mo don't know shit about nursing. He don't know nothing about kids, nothing. Only thing he do is he goes to nursing home and say, if the money is down, you got a problem. If it's up, you get the check, you walk out. That's it.
That's it.
Your grandfather, he passed down to Mo. When Mo's get to a certain age, he got to pass it down to his little brother. Then the little brother, he passed down to your son. Then the nephew, that's so on. The women, they work inside. They're not to own anything. They work inside as like a vice president or president. But what Mo was saying was, only thing our family spend on is business. That's it.
Yeah.
All extra spendings is not accounted for. It's not accounted for at all.
They say Jewish money bounce 18 times before it leave their community.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
18 times. That means for every dollar I spend, it's hitting another Jewish person's pocket 18 times before it go out to anybody else.
That's a fact.
Black people money don't bounce once.
That's a
We
fact.
don't
It
own
don't
nothing.
bounce once. Because we don't own
We don't
nothing.
shop enough. And when we do own it, we don't shop though.
Back to me again.
But then here's the other thing. When we do get something, right?
It's done.
We feel like
We going out to the
It's like a
community.
rich.
No, we feel like if we run it like the proper establishment, oh, you being like the white man. No.
Your price is too
Just
high.
because you black don't mean I'm gonna come in here and be mistreated or get less quality or
Your
whatever.
quality
like that.
ain't the same.
No.
as Billy.
If you gonna be black owned, then do it in the right way, right?
The right way.
But then the artist is put on the community to say, okay, hey, if this is a black owned gas station, the men in the neighborhood I don't want to see not a nan thug go down there and rob that gas station.
Exactly.
Right? You don't take not a penny from out there. If we gotta go run patrols, our own that you ain't stealing nothing out of this gas station, right? You ain't gonna go loiter in front of this corner store, or you ain't
Right.
you ain't gonna do that, right? But that's the community job.
Like you said, that's how community used to be. Back then, it used to be like
And
that.
I go back, and I gotta get out of here, but I go back to, again, my job as a pastor. For me, that start with the home. That start with a mama, a daddy, children being raised the way they're supposed to be raised, so they know not to do better, right? You're gonna have some people that go out and do their own thing, but that's where it starts. So,
Foundation.
far as with me, reaching people with the gospel, changing people's lives, right, with the truth of the scriptures, living the way I'm supposed to live, not being no pastor doing this, and everybody know the pastor rap sheet, right? No, man. I take the spiritual responsibility that God places on me with importance, right? That means I gotta live a certain way. That means I gotta walk a certain way. That means I gotta be the right type of example to the kids that God gave me, to the people in the community, right?
Right.
So I can give them something to aspire to be. Right? I want my kids to have integrity, right? So I do stuff with integrity, right? And so guess what? I ain't supposed to be. I went to go buy a basketball rim the other day because I'm getting ready to put an in-ground basketball hoop in my backyard for the boys. I went all the way up by to
Dickie, you getting the hoop, huh?
yeah. I went all the way up by Emerson and got this basketball rim. And this guy, he had to take it down, whatever, right? And got a good deal on it. And he's like, yeah, I said, man, y'all got 6 boys. So he's like, man, you got 6. This is a Middle Eastern guy. You got 6 boys, man. Yeah. He said, they ain't all about the same woman, is they? I say all 6 of them about my wife.
See, that's because that's not what they want to hear.
And you know what the first thing he said out of his mouth? He said, man, you a good dude.
Yeah.
I said, all 6 of them about my wife, right?
See, but you know what? I would have bought him. I would have bought his a milk carton. Bicycle rim. Put it on that telephone pole. Shoot him first.
That old milk crate.
Tell me about it.
Man, hey,
That's how you learn, man.
you get that round ball inside that square.
Yeah, we good.
But all that circle ain't gonna be easy. Man, that's gonna be easy.
Yeah.
But ain't that something?
But just go back to family, man. Go back to family
Yeah.
and create something. If we ever gonna have anything, that's where they gotta start, man. We gotta start teaching our young men, hey, don't be having all these kids, get married, have a wife, establish something, and it's gonna take generations to get where we trying to go. Our problem is we trying to go there tomorrow. Right?
Yeah.
We don't want to where we at.
We want a quick fix.
Yeah, where we at? We at the bottom.
Quick fix.
We at the bottom. And so for all the glitz and the glamour, it started at the bottom. So if we ain't gonna start there, if we got aspirations, it's gonna take probably 3 generations before we get to where we want to be there. Because guess what? It didn't get torn down overnight.
No.
It got torn down over 2 or 3 generations.
I think we doing good.
And you know what?
I think we
can do better.
But
We
this
can
is
do
good
better.
right here, though. We don't do this.
Remember when they came with No Child Left Behind? Now,
What that was that?
now,
All they doing is
I'm saying with the school, I think it was the Bushes.
I thought some shit.
It was Bush.
It was Bush. They said, no child is left behind. So that means you can't flunk no kid.
Yep.
No kid can flunk in school, which was messed up.
Which is
Because
a racist. It's racist.
Because-
I don't want my kid to be pushed up just because he black or because he like we just
but
push him along.
they
No.
say no child left behind. So now you had kids in school.
They don't care about doing
I
right.
ain't gonna do
I ain't gonna do
that.
nothing.
You can't flunk me.
Yeah,
You
right.
flunk me. But now you got seniors reading on the 3rd grade level.
If that.
No, that's a fact though.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. You got seniors.
They don't want to
They don't want
educate.
that.
You got seniors don't even know multiplications.
Multiplication is simple addition.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So where's it? Everybody was like, oh yeah, you can't flunk them. But now you got 18-year-old kids who can't fill out an application for a job.
What do they go to?
Because,
Hang on the corner.
and it was, hey, and everybody like, well, hey, you can't flunk them.
That's yeah.
But now, they done took that rule out. Because now we done